Your friend Francis Obinbringer. Me a quality control manager of COA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. And high na ye ejumano ye free forest. Na high no conditions say ye kofa eni say ade chi anim ansa na ya ho adwuma. Nti cars no connect high ne ba ye sortu ni na blending ni na bom ansa na ye de aye adwuma the same day. Ade chi so aye so a enye. Na omo de ba ye wo baby a ye we han no ye hu emuduo na ye access no ne ye se han a ye soma omo se omo nkofa mra no eno abi na omo de aba se ye hwe na ni nyina e pass a ansa na ye de akọ efidie mama efidie no aworo han no e ba woro hu mprensa ni ye efim akọ efidie fufuro me no so be woro hu mprensa ansa na ye de akọ efidie a eno enyam han no enyina enyam bo mu wi a na ye de esiwo atwen enna kakra ansa na ye de akọ baby a enua han no na ya twen eduro na ho odin efim efidie na pompe eduro ni fi baby a ye noa no e de kọ baby a ye be bottle na ya package no nti ewia ansa ye quality control process no start ye nyina ye wom nti eduro no ya ye ewie no ye be san eyiyi eduro no at random na ye de akọ lab akọye test ansa na se e pass a ya hand eduro no over to marketing department na omuso de akọ edwa so aha ensu a ye use bia ye ensu a ye de afa mfidiem a eni da o nti se oba ya se ya ha pipe bia obebie bia obetimi anom ye de nafa efidiem a eyi emoa ne eniema enye bia afi mama ensu ne ni ada o sanso no na ye de woro ahan no emprensa edikan na emprensa esa eto asomienu edu enso na abiso na ye de wash ye bottles ye wo SOP sa ye kwan a ye fa so e de ewohoro ye bottles na ye kra bottles na ansa na ye bubu eduru ni nyina egu.
My name is Edwin Henry Donko, the Assistant Quality Control Officer. So after changing from the main changing room, you get to the entrance to the high-risk area where we have our first control measure, a foot bath. So you step on it to disinfect beneath your foot before you get into the secondary changing room, where you change over from the footwear you had earlier to another footwear, prescribed one for that area specifically. And then you put on a lab coat, a headgear, and then a nose cover that is assigned to only that place. Now at that point, those going to the bottling hall, those going to the labeling room, and then those going to the bottle washing area all enter through that point. We regard that whole place as the high-risk area. So those coming to the bottle washing area would enter through their own parts as we saw earlier. And first of all, they wash their hands, they put on their gloves, and they get to the window. The window we receive the packaging materials from. Talking about packaging materials, I'm talking about the bottles, the caps, and then the corks. So they are received through that window, and then they go through the disinfection process. So the first stage of it is steeping of the bottles, the caps, and then the corks in hypochlorite solution for 24 hours. After that 24 hours, it goes through a primary rinsing with cold water, then the secondary rinsing with another cold water, and the final one with hot water. But every water on the production floor has already gone through a treatment system, as explained earlier. So after the secondary cold water rinsing, we go through the final one with hot water. So we are done with disinfection of our bottles. They are now transported into the bottling hall in sealed barrels. The barrels are also treated before the bottles are put in them. So we are done with that, and then they are moved into the bottling hall. So those entering the bottling hall also have another route aside that of the one entering, going into the bottle washing area. So they enter through that route, and at that point, at the entrance, there is a hygiene station there too, where they wash their hands, put on their gloves before they get access into the bottling hall. So at the bottling hall, we have holding tanks that will keep the product after it has gone through a distillation process. So these holding tanks will help us with our batching system. The batching system starts right from reception of the leaves for processing up to the very final tank, the line, and then the final tank that holds it before bottling. Those after the day's work, the products are moved to an area, a designated area, for those assigned for labeling and packaging to pick them up into their section for it to be labeled and then packaged. The batch numbers and production dates, expiry dates are printed on the labels that is controlled by the quality control department, and then handed over to the labeling department, and then they will label the products and package them in their boxes. Now when we are done, the boxes with the product are now passed on through a window. So for that window, it's more of a cage. It is packed there for those responsible for the stores, the finished product stores, to pick them up and then move them to the finished product store behind me. So basically, that is the procedure for the product to get in. Now, when we are done with bottling, when we are done with labeling, those who did the washing are also done. As we entered, we passed through that same process in a reverse manner to get out. So we get to the secondary changing room where we did a changeover. So whatever you put on at that side is removed. You get out just as you came in. So your lab coats, your footwear, your headgear, it is all changed there for the laundry guys to pick it up at the end of the day. So from the raw water, the treated water at various points, we sample from there. And then we also do sampling when our products are ready for distillation. We sample from there. And at the end of production, at the end of bottling, per the batching system, every batch is also sampled for analysis. Now, when the results come out right, that we are okay, the product, before the results come out right, the products are kept at a quarantined area. And at the end, when the results come out right, the products are released from the quarantined area to an assigned area, the released area, where it's assumed it's ready for the market.